Hello crafters, this is Julia Fair in Fair's Craft Lair. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I have another YouTube Tuesday video for you today. This week I am working with Beautiful Blizzard, the bundle, which this lovely stamp set has so many different things which are great. I love all the sentiments, they're really fun to use. These are two really great background type images. There's a smaller one and then a larger one to create that ambiance of a blizzard, which is really cool. And then of course you got the wind blowing, some other little textures, and then of course snowflakes. So you could use this on its own, which is wonderful and beautiful. But then you can also add in the die, which I don't know where my die went. Okay, well anyway, the snowflake die. It's pretty awesome. Let me show you what it does. I'll find the die eventually. I don't know where the die went, but that's okay. I don't know where the die went. However, it cuts out all of this. Isn't that cool? All in one. It's one giant plate that cuts out all that. That's going to drive me crazy. I hope it didn't get thrown out in the trash. I'm going to have to look for that. That's going to freak me out just a little bit. Okay. But anyway, today we're working with the snowflakes from, if you looked at my card yesterday, this is yesterday's tutorial. It's listed on my blog for Monday, okay? But I kept all the snowflakes from that, and I've done plenty of die cutting on camera, so I'm not planning on doing that for you today. But I did want to show you what I'm planning to do with those dies thereafter, okay? So I've got just a couple... got a whole thing of the snowflakes over here, but here's one of the little ones. All right, and excuse my mess, I stamp so much that it just, you know, it happens, and changing my paper constantly. All right, so the all-purpose ink, this is the Champagne Mist Shimmer paint, and all I'm going to do is get a little bit of this on my sponge. And I mean just a little bit, like I'm scraping it either off or into the sponge, because I really don't need much on here to get what I'm looking for, okay? And this is just a Stampin' sponge, all right? And all I'm gonna do is go over this. I'm gonna go pounce, and yeah, it's really tiny, so it's gonna stick. Just like that, okay? So I'm going to set that one off to the side to dry, and I would love to actually use some of this ink on something else, or some of this paint on something else. Let me find something really quick. I always try to do a little extra. Ooh, I have some of this. I have the swirls and curls. Let's do a little swirls and curls. I just have extra paint, so I'm just trying to get this paint. I like to use it on other things. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, because that will add a lot of really pretty shimmer. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. It's perfect. It's awesome. Just this hint of shimmer all over the whole thing. So pretty. Okay, anyway, so that's me using up some of my extra paint that I had left over. I don't know if you can see this here. This little guy, we're going to let him dry. He, she. Snowflake dry. But I've already done a few of the larger ones here. You can see how shimmery they are. That is Smoky Slate cardstock, and I just put this shimmer paint over the top, and they just sparkle. It's kind of like Wink of Stella, but it has a little bit more color. So if you don't have this paint, you could definitely use Wink of Stella. That'd be great. But Wink of Stella is actually fairly wet, and this paint dries super quickly. So I love that about this, and this is absolutely wonderful. By the way, we are having our year-end closeout. Right now, Stampin' Up! Is holding the year-end closeout. If you shop with my host code, I usually do weekly specials, but because it's the year-end closeout, I'm going to hold off this week. But when you do shop with me, there are all sorts of other projects that I'd be very happy to share with you. So please, you know, if you're looking for a demonstrator, give me a shout, or go to my website and shop with that host code. I believe we will be offering something again next week, which is great. All right, so I just took a little piece of Whisper White cardstock and I shimmerfied it with the extra paint that I had last time. And this guy is 5/8 inches by 3 1/4. Yeah, 5/8 by 3 1/4. So we're gonna put the sentiment on that because the sentiment's gonna fit. We're gonna use the Season's Greetings. We're gonna do that in a minute. I wanted to start with this awesome card base first. Okay, so these are the silver foil edge cards and envelopes, and I can't get enough of them. They're beautiful. They just add so much to your projects. It's so cool. All right, and this is a Fresh Fig ink pad, and this texture stamp, I love it, but it's a lot of texture. So instead of me trying to press it into the ink pad this way, I wanted to ink it up this way so it's easier for me to see. And I'm going to stamp this one off first because I don't want as much color as was on there. All right, so we're going to do one kind of towards the middle, and then I think I'll do one more, and I'm going to change the direction. And I've only inked it once, okay? So this is called generational stamping. I love generational stamping. It just adds so much dimension to your projects. Yeah, we'll do. We can keep going forever here if I really wanted to. That looks pretty good. Okay, so I stamped it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I don't mind if there's extra shadows or anything. That's literally supposed to be background texture. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do, I took the swirls, and we're going to add a few of those. That looks pretty good. All right, did about 4 of those. All right, onward march. Let's get the rest of the stamping done and then we'll assemble this. So I have my little sentiment strip here, and I'm gonna ink up my Season's Greetings. And this is a narrow one, so I'm gonna be really careful. Kind of is bubbling, so I'm gonna try to set it down a little bit more over here. Maybe that'll help. Press straight down, get off. That looks pretty good to me. Pretty happy about that. All right, but look at that stamping on top of the shimmer paint. It's just perfect. So shimmery. Woohoo! All right, so the next thing that I would like to do is we're gonna leave this for last. I can put my ink pad away. Let's get some of those snowflakes on here. Oh, I need some glue dots. Some mini glue dots, because some of these have middles on them, and I like that because it means that I can just get them. I can put a glue dot on them, and off they go. Sounds like my dog heard something. That's fairly normal for Snickers. Those of you who know Snickers. Right, and I'm going to put those kind of like that. Do I have one more that size? Not quite. Okay. Let's try. Now I got to use my fine tip glue pen. If you've never used this before, it has this pin that goes in here in the tip that keeps it from getting clogged, which is really, really nice. But that means you have to make sure that you actually get that back on. That one's pretty well loaded up. I'm going to plop it down right there. And I'm just going to hold it for a couple seconds, just so that it starts getting contact with the paper. That's pretty good. All right, on to the next one. Put that one up there. There we go. And I think I'm going to do, let's see, can I get this guy inked up? Painted up? Yep. Not quite as much, it's okay. I kind of did like a curve going along here. Which, there we go, that's pretty cool. And maybe I'll just add like one more down here. Yep, I think that's about it. I have so many pretty snowflakes left over, it's awesome. All right, so we're gonna leave that one there, and then I just want some dimensionals. Get this covered back up. All right, for my sentiment strip, I think we're gonna put it up on this side now. All right, that looks pretty good. We'll do that. And dimensionals. For those of you who are not in North Carolina, it has snowed here, and snowing here is a big deal because most everything just shuts down. They don't really have the equipment to handle it. They really want everybody to be safe. So for a Minnesotan like me, it's kind of like being a shut-in when it's just standard winter, and at least in my point of view. And I get that, you know, this is it's important for everybody to be safe, but I kind of look at this and, oh no, I'm smearing that. Oh, I'm smearing that really bad. All right. I'm gonna go over it. Well then, I guess I would need to actually hit this with the heat gun. That's real special. Hit that with a heat gun in order for that to not happen. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm just going to try to stamp on top of it with the black, with my Memento black ink, and see how that works really quickly. Because that's kind of frustrating. Well, you get to see me troubleshoot on camera. Let's clean this off real quick. All right. I bet I'm not gonna, nope, that's not gonna work. I'm just gonna have to stamp on something else. Hold on. Oh, I know what I can do. It's what happens when I don't prep everything on camera. So that it works really well on top of the paint, but you have to make sure it dries, and I did not let it dry, folks. That was a big mistake. All right, so I just cleaned up my stamp. Let me grab one more little piece of paper. . Man, I don't even have a strip right now. Alright, I think I got this. So we're going to stamp with the purple first. And maybe, oh, it's not quite big enough. That's okay. I'm going to peel this one up. It's a little different. I think I did more of 3/4 of an inch. Yes, I just did that, and my snowflake just broke. Oh, my poor snowflake. It's okay. This is real stamping, everybody. And it doesn't have to be perfect. But this is, honestly, I go through a lot of card designs like this. Trying to figure things out. All right, now I know I'm going to cover that up. Shh, nobody will know. Okay? And then I can get the dimensionals off my fingers. There's little marshmallows all over my fingers. All right, so we're going to ink. The dimensions on this one are a little bit different now. I did it by 3 inches. 3 inches and 3/4, yeah. So hopefully that'll still fit really well. Look at that, that's beautiful. Stamping is really pretty. Okay, now we're gonna do the paint. See, I just didn't want to waste the paint if I could help it. And now I'm gonna have to paint again anyway. Ah, I should know better. Oh, I should know better. Oh, extra paint. This paint is really cool, but it's very watery. It kind of, I mean, it can go everywhere, which is, so you just, this little tiny jar goes so far, everybody. Which makes me very happy. All right, I can deal with a little bit of smearing. Let's do a little bit more pot. If you like my sound effects. There we go. And a little bit of the color mixed in. I don't mind that at all. That adds to the texture that I was looking for. All right, so now we're gonna put the dimensionals on the back and stick it on. I'm really looking forward to getting a new camera mount. Okay, and because I know that that's broken, I'm gonna go over that. And it hides it. Look, no one knows. Tiny bit crooked. Can I get it up? That looks pretty good. All right, last step. I am going to use some of the clear and frosted epoxy or enamel dots. I think they're epoxy. They're called epoxy dots. Alright, and I have some strips of these cut out because I was using them for something else, but they're really cool looking. I just love, oh, they're there. Love them. I use some of the frosted ones because who doesn't like frosty things? And I need a glue dot. There they are. Everything's getting lost on my table. Surprise, surprise. That's what happens when you start designing. Alright, that one's pretty good by itself. Let's put another big one there. Oh, I need the other pack of these then, if I'm gonna keep going. Oh, I better just get them. Hold on. Open another pack. Right. And I'm really hoping that I'm not using something that has already been retired, which is entirely possible, because I'm trying to pay attention to what's been on our closeout list. There's so much cool stuff right now, and what's even better, the die for this, it's on sale, so which is super cool. So if you've been thinking about this at all, I would totally go look and see what else is on sale and try to get in on that before it's gone. And it's only while supplies last, so you really want to make sure if you're interested in anything that you take advantage of that. All right, so here is our beautiful card for the day. Season's greetings with beautiful Blizzard, and please let me know if you're in need of anything. I'd be very happy to help, and I hope you all have a happy holiday season and a crafty season as well. Thanks so much for joining me.